Hi, this is Christelle Martinet with another scrying session today for May the 3rd. And for those of you who don't know it, it's World Press Freedom Day, May 3rd. The World Press Freedom Day is to remind us, of course, of free press and the importance of having a free press and being able to speak your mind. And it was organized by the United Nations for the first time, I think it was 1993, after a number of issues, after a number of series of events in Africa that really African journalists strove for. It was a few years prior to that, rallying around an independent and a pluralistic African press. And it's celebrated every year on May 3rd. You know that this is only an excuse, don't you? Okay, we'll have the feeling, there is a feeling that we're being we're being called, we're being touched, we're being in some way shaken up by something. You feel like someone's trying to get you, give you information, someone's trying to get your attention. You're starting to feel things near you, and it's very highly likely that there are entities around you that are vying for your attention. Okay, the issue is that if this doesn't bother you, if it's a pleasant experience, then you know that it can do you no harm. But if you're in a state of excitement or crises or serious trauma, then you'll have that sensation that it isn't a welcome presence. Now, in those cases, I suggest you light some candles for the night. White candles, if possible, if you have them. There are pools of water. There are lakes. I see a series of lakes, as if the first one was a very large lake, and then subsequent lakes attached to them goes from, there are three, a large one, then a medium-sized one, then a smaller one, that are small enough for you to swim over from one to the other to the next. So they're not very large, and the distance isn't very, and of course it's all relative, but what I'm seeing here is that there is a possibility of going right through the water, almost as if you had, huge fins that can just, carry you over. Sailing, almost walking, cruising across this water. So there's water, there's these water signs. These water signs are making their presence felt. The element of water, very prominent emotions. These are emotions that are coming to the fore, and you're able to govern the emotions through, slight, some tools that you use, governing your emotions with your experience and with exercises that you have carried out and seem to work for you. We have a new moon coming up the 6th of May, and I'll be scrying for that as well in a couple of days. Here we get the impression there is a sort of alone. You're sort of alone, not lonely, but you're alone. and your consciousness evolves around this alone time. And what I'm seeing is that it's a sort of reality for you that's slightly offset with compared to your real reality. Okay, so it's as if it's not dreamlike. No, that there is experience here. There's experience in the way you see and feel energy around you. There's a likeness of this experience to something you know very well, of something that you've had before. You get the impression that you've had this experience before. You know, this could be you becoming more in tuned with other realities, as if you're in one, but you know you're experiencing another reality. And it can, well, you know, it need not frighten us, because if you can conceive of it, it shouldn't be frightening. But what's so delightful about something like this is that you think, well, I wonder, you know, if I have to pay my bills in that reality. You know, it seems like it's a sacred place where the more mundane affairs need not penetrate. Now, you know, many call this escapism. You know, when you escape to another world to not face your own. But what I'm getting here is something different. I'm getting as if you're being consciously aware of another place, another time where your presence has been already. And it's a sensation, you know, it's a sensation that you'll have, and it may even occur in your dreams. But you know, the human beings have a tendency to think, because they know the power of the mind, and they know how the mind tends to play games at times. And many people tend not to believe things unless they're accompanied with someone else when they experience it. And that's unfortunate, because some of the most interesting experiences we have are when we are alone, because the way our mind conceives of them and sees them and experiences them is so unique. You know, at times, sometimes when you're with someone, you can get distracted. But this is an experience that I see you going it alone. And again, you know, fear not. It's just you know, there is someone there. It's just a matter of understanding where they are and where you are in relation to this, you know, parallel reality. And you know, sometimes a brief visit, you know, and I'm talking about timing, really brief, going and coming back, really will suit us, because it's like a breath of fresh air. And it's a sacred place. You know, it's a place where you rarely go, may have never been. And it's a healthy exercise to be able to control your visits, you know, going and coming. Okay, I have 15 minutes, let's go, and then come back. Right, this is done through meditation as well. And there's a starry-like atmosphere, tinged. The experience is colored with starry-like madness, I want to say. I'm getting the word madness as starry-like madness. I remember the last time I scryed, we were, no, it was on the reading, I was talking about a disaster, you know, a star that's that's bombarded and becomes many small stars. This is a different type of star-like nature that tinges the experience of almost surreal. You know, it makes it feel surreal. You know, above reality. Surreal means really above it and beyond it. I could, you know, I could look into this beautiful crystal forever, forever. I'm hearing and seeing changing weather. The weather is changing rapidly. Tomorrow, I guess it will be up because I'm still on the second. Well, for those of you in the other hemisphere, you're there already. But the third promises to be quite a changeable day, weather-wise. You'll get the impression that it's changeable during the day, and that there's sort of a shift from hot to cold, from humid to dry. You get that sensation on your skin. This is a time when something like this happens. It's really, really wise to take in liquids, lots of liquids, lots of water if you can. A day of color, a day to wear color, an uncommon color for you, something that's a color that, well, your favorite color, bring it in the form of a stone, a gem, one of those handkerchiefs in your chest pocket, you know, little chest pocket here, and or a foulard, a scarf with a very different color compared to colors you usually use. They'll be dancing for you during the day, and the colors will come alive. And the colors will really accompany you on that small step into a parallel reality. The light and colors come alive, especially if you seek them out as such. If you're looking to wear, for example, a different color, a color that will accompany you during the day, it serves you well. It's a chosen color. Snowshoes, I'm seeing. Snowshoes that look like tennis rackets, you know, in the snow. I'm seeing this pacing in the snow. Not pacing, but taking steps in the snow and listening to the crunch, you know. But then right around the corner, the snow gives way to these lakes again. You know, these three lakes, one after another, the large, the small, and the medium and the small. And there's a what trip am I on tonight? You know, this it really is difficult for me to try to put together the experience that is seen in three different places, but the underlying message that I have is that there is a water element, a very prominent water element in these this Freedom of Speech Day, World Freedom of Speech Day, the 3rd of May. It'll be a very emotional time. You know, there's also this presence of soaring above these lakes and soaring above those snowshoes, the tennis rackets on the snow. There's also the ability to fly over these realities, and it's like a Peter Pan flight. across the sky and looking down and having a wonderful time, feeling that wind on your face, and just whizzing through time, whizzing through space, and whizzing through all those things that you want to count, all those things that are drawing you down. We're taking a very quick travel through these, very quick trip through the elements of water that is so emotional, and we're breezing. It's stupid of me to use the word breezing, where I would have to say we're gliding on top of these this element. It's a glide. You can soar over, but it's best experienced with a glide. And it's domando, it's controlling that glide, it's having control over your emotions in this very emotional time. And at times you'll see that you'll feel, well, what am I doing? I think something has changed. I'm not crying when I watch the movie. I'm sort of not distant or cold, but I'm just there, watching and taking it in. It's a day of experiencing something, emotions in a different way. Emotions and seeing them, getting out of them and looking at them, and understanding your emotions, and why do you become so emotional in certain moments, and what is it that sets it off? What is it? Is it a memory? Is it that it's linked to a memory? Or is it something that has been so buried in the memories that when you have a stimulus, it hits home so quickly that, the tears burst forth, or the high emotions burst forth? Could that be? And the questions just never end. You can keep asking yourselves these questions because you're incredulous of what the power of the mind affords you, what the power of the mind gifts you with certain visions, but they are there, and we need but open our eyes and look, and this is an invitation from Christelle that to open the eyes and look at that. Look at the way they develop, and look at the way they move you, these emotions. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me this evening, and have a happy May 3rd, the World Free Press Day. Bye-bye.